Internet Computer just exploded over 80% in a single week. Trading volume, highest since March 2022. Open interest, all-time high. And while everyone's distracted by the usual suspects, one analyst just called ICP his top token pick for 2026. Not Solana, not Ethereum, ICP. And honestly, after diving into the data, I'm starting to see why this might not be as crazy as it sounds. What's up, crypto fam? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I break down the moves that actually matter in this market. No hype, just data and strategy. Before we dive into why ICP is suddenly acting like it remembered, it's supposed to be a top layer 1, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next breakout before it happens. Trust me, you'll want to stay ahead on this one. So here's what's happening. Internet Computer is trading above $8 right now, which might not sound impressive until you realize it was struggling to break $5 just days ago. According to CoinGlass data, futures open interest just hit an all-time high of $237.92 million. On Binance alone, we're seeing $66.5 million in open interest, levels we haven't witnessed since March 2022. That's not retail FOMO, that's institutional money quietly positioning itself. But wait, there's more. Sentiment reports that ICP's ecosystem trading volume peaked at $1.41 billion on Tuesday and is holding steady around $1.1 billion. Again, these are numbers we haven't seen in nearly 3 years. When open interest and volume both surge simultaneously, that's not a coincidence. That's confirmation that smart money is entering the building and they're bringing bags. Now, a well-known analyst called CryptoBoss just dropped a thread explaining why ICP is his absolute top pick for 2026. Not a maybe, not a keep an eye on it, his number one. And after reviewing his analysis, I have to admit, the guy's connecting dots most people are completely missing. While everyone's chasing the latest meme coin or waiting for Ethereum to do something, ICP has been quietly building something fundamentally different. And I'm not talking about incremental improvements. According to CryptoBoss, Internet Computer isn't trying to copy Ethereum's homework and make it slightly better. It's playing an entirely different game. Most blockchains still rely on layer 2 solutions and complicated scaling workarounds just to handle basic traffic. They're essentially putting band-aids on broken infrastructure. ICP, it runs full-stack decentralized applications directly on-chain. Everything, back-end logic, front-end interfaces, data storage, all of it executes within the network itself. Sub-second finality, over 1,000 transactions per second, and here's the kicker: infinite scalability through subnet expansion. Think about that for a second. While other chains are arguing about which roll-up solution works best, ICP already solved the problem by redesigning the entire architecture. It's like everyone else is trying to make faster horses while ICP built a Tesla, different category entirely. And then there's the reverse gas model. Instead of users paying transaction fees every time they interact with a dApp, which, let's be honest, kills user adoption faster than anything, developers pre-fund cycles that get burned during execution. This makes the user experience completely frictionless, while simultaneously creating deflationary pressure on the token supply. Genius design, if you ask me. But the part that really caught my attention? On-chain AI. ICP allows developers to host artificial intelligence models directly on-chain, completely tamper-proof, with zero dependency on centralized cloud providers like AWS or Google. In a market where AI agents and autonomous applications are becoming the hottest narrative, ICP's deterministic execution gives it a massive advantage over probabilistic chains like Ethereum. Here's my take: ICP isn't just riding the AI wave, it's building the railroad tracks underneath it. Big difference. Now, let's talk tokenomics, because this is where things get spicy. ICP's deflationary model is more elegant than most people realize. Rewards go to node providers and stakers, which is pretty standard, but here's the twist: network activity burns cycles, which directly destroys ICP tokens. During high usage periods, these burns have actually outpaced issuance, effectively reducing total supply. Current inflation sits around 5% annually, but that number keeps shrinking as network usage climbs. With circulating supply at approximately 539 million tokens and a market cap around $4 billion after the recent rally, ICP is still dramatically undervalued compared to Layer 1 competitors like Solana or Avalanche. If adoption accelerates even modestly, the upside here is substantial. And speaking of adoption, the ecosystem numbers are absolutely exploding. Total value locked jumped from around $100 million in 2024 to $250 million now. Projections? Over $2 billion by 2026, driven by CKBTC integration and the Bitfinity EVM expansion. Over 1,000 live canisters, yeah, that's ICP's version of smart contracts, are now running on the network, including OpenChat with more than 1 million users, DSCVR, which is basically decentralized Reddit, and a rapidly growing collection of AI-powered tools and DeFi applications like ICP swap. Developer activity? It's up over 200% year over year, thanks to Dfinity's aggressive grant program and ICP's developer-friendly WebAssembly environment. This isn't random growth, this is network effect momentum building in real time. But here's where ICP's secret weapon comes into play: chain fusion. This feature allows ICP smart contracts to natively interact with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana without wrapped tokens or risky bridges. No wrapped BTC nonsense, no bridge hacks, just direct native interoperability. That positions ICP as a natural hub for cross-chain liquidity and DeFi automation in 2026. If that doesn't give you alpha vibes, I don't know what will. Let's get technical for a moment. ICP just broke above a descending trendline that's been capping price action since mid-August. The breakout happened on Sunday, found support the next day, exactly where it should, then exploded over 70% in the following 3 days. Clean breakout. Strong volume confirmation. This is textbook bullish price action. At the time I'm recording this, ICP is trading above $8, up more than 23% on the day. If momentum continues, the next daily resistance sits at $9.12. Not far at all. On the weekly chart, ICP finally smashed through the long-term resistance zone around $7, a level that previously rejected every rally attempt since early 2024. Volume confirms this move is legitimate, not some low-liquidity pump. According to CryptoBoss's chart analysis, if momentum holds, the next major resistance sits near $22. That's roughly a 3 times move from current levels. Above that, a push toward $37 becomes realistic if the broader market turns bullish in 2026. That would mark the next major historical resistance level and represent a near 5 times return from today's price. The relative strength index on the daily chart shows 84, pointing toward overbought territory but indicating extremely strong bullish momentum. The MACD triggered a bullish crossover last week and remains intact, confirming trend continuation. My take? Yes, we're technically overbought, but in strong trends, overbought can stay overbought for weeks. Don't fight momentum. On the downside, if ICP faces short-term profit-taking, the 6 to 650 region should act as support. As long as price holds above that zone, the macro structure remains bullish. Below that, and we'd need to reassess. But based on current volume and open interest, honestly, I'm not expecting a major correction anytime soon. Here's what most people are missing. ICP's breakout isn't happening in isolation. This is actually the culmination of nearly 2 years of quiet, methodical building, while, the market chased faster, flashier trends. The technology matured, the ecosystem expanded, the tokenomics refined, and now, finally, the market is starting to notice. The AI and decentralized compute narrative is, honestly, accelerating faster than most people realize. As more developers start to recognize the limitations of centralized cloud infrastructure and the probabilistic nature of blockchain execution, projects like ICP that offer deterministic on-chain AI hosting are going to capture, disproportionate attention and capital. Now, combine that with Chain Fusion's cross-chain capabilities, deflationary token mechanics, and an ecosystem that's actually growing, not just inflated total value locked from farm and dump protocols, and honestly, you've got a recipe for sustained outperformance heading into 2026. The analyst CryptoBoss isn't wrong when he calls this his top pick. The numbers back it up, the narrative backs it up, and now finally, the chart backs it up too. After months of consolidation and accumulation, ICP looks structurally positioned for a major move higher. Could we see a pullback? Absolutely. Nothing goes straight up forever. But the confluence of technical breakout, fundamental growth, and narrative alignment creates a setup that's honestly hard to ignore. If decentralized AI becomes even half as big as many expect, Internet Computer is positioned right at the intersection of that trend. Alright crypto fam, that's the full breakdown on why Internet Computer is suddenly the dark horse everyone's watching for 2026. Whether you're already holding ICP or just discovering it now, the data suggests this isn't just another pump. This is a legitimate structural shift in how the market's viewing this project. If you found this analysis valuable, make sure you're subscribed and notifications are on. I've got more deep dives coming on projects that are quietly setting up for massive moves if you want to stay ahead of the next breakout, and drop a comment below. Are you bullish on ICP for 2026, Or do you think the hype is overblown? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Let's keep stacking those gains together. Quick reminder, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing I say is financial advice. Cryptocurrency investing carries significant risk, and you should only invest what you can afford to lose. Always do your own research, consult with a licensed financial advisor, and never make investment decisions based solely on YouTube videos. Stay safe out there.